Good afternoon, teachers. I hope you're having a wonderful afternoon. Just want to take a couple of seconds to go over your assignments for this week. And as is always the case, we have our learning targets at the top of the Moodle page for this week. Actually, above that is just a graphic that's stating that it is Black History Month, as it is every year in February. So just a reminder of that fact. The first item, number 1 on our agenda, is a review of last week's reading, and then that is followed by the readings for this week. What I'd like for you to read this week is chapters 5 and 6 in the Collins and Halverson book, and then chapters 3 and 4 in the Horn and Staker book blended. Next, item number 3 will ask you to apply what you learned about the infographic technology tools last week to your readings this week. So what I would like for you to do is I would like for each of you to create an infographic for one of the chapters that you read this week. So each member of your group will pick a different chapter, select an infographic technology that you learned, for example, Adobe Spark or Canva, and you will use that technology to create an infographic for the chapter that you picked. Now, some of the groups have 5-6 members in them, and for those groups, 1 or 2 members of the group will have the same chapter, but will create separate infographics. So the idea is for each of you to use the infographic technology and apply it to this reading assignment. If you're not familiar with infographics, I have a link there that will teach you, that will go into the components or the characteristics of an infographic. So I hope that you will look over that as well. Once you've created your infographics, I would like the group to come together and to discuss what you learned in your readings and in the process of creating your infographics. For example, think about how you could use infographics in your content areas in your class. And then as a group, you're not going to create anything. It's just more of an opportunity to come together. And then I'm going to have you submit your infographics. There's a link to a Google document there for you to do that. Item number 4, ask you to go and look at the videos that your classmates created, the instructional technology videos that your classmates created last week, and to watch those videos and then to comment on 4 of the videos, a minimum of 4. And, think about in your comments things that you liked about the video, not necessarily the technology, but that you thought that your colleague did well in presenting the information in the video that they created. Something else that you may think about is, what is one thing that you learned from the video about the technology? Moving forward, number 5, blog posts. Don't forget your blog post for this week. You have 1 blog post that you should make for the blogger you're following, and then you're going to make a separate blog post. Don't just add to the one that you just made. Make a separate blog post about how you're using technology in your own classroom. Remember to label those first with week 5 and then whatever the descriptive title is that you want to include. The next item on our agenda is our tech tools for this week. Last year I shared Flipgrid, and so I just included that one this year. I also, I think a lot of folks just know from looking at your blogs, because I know 1 or 2 of you posted on Flipgrids, and then several of you made comments about, that it was a tool that you liked. Flipgrid's a tool that I really liked. I may have mentioned this before, but what interests me about technology when I first got into it, and especially writing about the use of mobile phones, which I did for a number of years, is that it's something that students are interested in. And one of the biggest barriers that we're fighting in the high school classroom is engagement and motivation. And so I was always fascinated by mobile devices, in particular mobile phones. I mean, kids were fascinated by beepers before that. They're just the mobile technologies, personal technologies. After that, it was Palms. I don't know if you guys remember the Palm personal handheld devices, but, kids are engaged by those. So the reason that I like Flipgrid so much is because for a long time I was interested in Snapchat, in the sense that I didn't use Snapchat, but my kids were fascinated. In particular, my daughter was fascinated. And I had a lot of friends, actually, who were adults who were fascinated by Snapchat and engaged in Snapchat. And so I thought, I wish I could use that in my classroom. Never could find a way to integrate it for a number of reasons that I won't go into here. But when I discovered Flipgrid, I thought, hey, this is a lot like Snapchat, and this can be used to engage students. So if you're not familiar with that, watch the video. Even if you are, watch it, you may learn something new. In addition to that, I have a technology that one of your colleagues shared with me this week. And then actually, I think somebody mentioned it in their blog post, and it may have been one and the same, but it's an application called Freckle. This is more of a K-5 tool, although the video does indicate that they're developing content for middle secondary. But pick one of those and reflect on it in the threaded discussion that I provided for you. And then, as has been the case each week this semester, the last item on your agenda is just a summary of assignments. Now, with that said, all your assignments will be due next Thursday, not next Wednesday, because the president of Bellarmine has asked that we do a day away from virtual learning on Wednesday. So that's going to be kind of a free day for you. I know you'll probably end up working, but you won't be working because of anything that I've assigned you, because whatever work you were going to be doing for me on Wednesday next week, you can do that and turn it in on Thursday. Assignments will be due next Thursday. Okay, with that said, I hope everyone's doing well, and I will talk to you again next week. Okay, take care.